Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are gonna do a everyday makeup routine. I'm gonna show you guys just kind of like what I do when I'm in a rush, or like, you know, when your alarm goes off and you shut it off and then, well, we've all been there. Any more of this stuff, just subscribe to my channel. We're gonna use some products today. I'm gonna show you guys how to use them and how I use them when I am looking for a routine that is quick and easy and something I can just whip on, go to work, do some makeup, come home, that kind of shit. Let's just get into it. Guys, okay, so to start off, obviously, we do need to do our skincare routine. That is so important. I don't understand people who don't do skincare. I think definitely skincare and makeup work hand in hand, so definitely be doing your skincare routine. I don't care what you do, as long as you're cleansing, moisturizing, and doing all that kind of stuff. Honestly, do it. So after I've done all my skincare routine, which I will list the products that I do use fairly commonly. I really do like my skin. There is some blemishes kind of throughout my cheeks, but I'll show you guys how to cover that up. So just to start off, what I'm going to go in with is Banana Bright Face Primer. This is by Ole Henriksen. I love this stuff, guys, especially if you're going for a natural look. All I do is pump it onto my brush, and when I do a natural face, I actually use brushes. So we're literally going to just smear that everywhere. Alright guys, that's on. You can kind of see it gives a really nice glow to the skin. It just makes it nice and dewy. I'm just going to start off with some rules to, well, not rules because makeup doesn't really have rules, but just some like pointers for doing natural makeup. One, you're going to want to moisturize the skin a little bit more than you usually would, just so you can get like that nice dewy glow to your skin, because that's kind of like the basics of natural makeup. You know, your skin naturally has a glow to it, so when you're doing makeup naturally, you want to have that glow back in the skin. You're definitely going to want to use a really nice eye cream, or an eye cream that is going to be like sit nice and smooth under the eyes, because I find when you're doing natural makeup, the first place you'll see makeup is under the eyes, because it will crease if you don't do it properly. And using the right eye cream is really going to help you steer away from that issue. When doing a natural look, using brushes is usually a little better, just because it kind of moves. Because when I'm doing a natural look, I'm not using a ton of product, so a brush actually helps me move that product around a little bit easier than a beauty blender. And I also find like using a beauty blender, it actually sucks up too much of the product, and I'll have to apply more product and you'll just look a little more cakey. The foundation I'm going to use today, because it is a foundation that I really love, is the The foundation that I am going to use today is a foundation that I really love. It's something that I wore all last summer because it's really hot, I'm really oily, and it's just a lifesaver. It looks really natural. When it's really hot, I don't want to wear a lot of makeup, so this is something that's really nice. It's a Hello Happy Soft Blur Foundation. My shade is in shade 4. Your shade, who knows? Go get it checked out. But this is really nice. So what I do is I will take some of that foundation, just kind of put it on my wrist. I take some of that primer that I just used, the Banana Bright, and I'm just going to kind of mix that in with it. Dab, dab, dab. And then, where you're going to want to apply this first is in the center of the face. Because a person looks at you, they're looking at the center of your face first. And that's where you're going to want most coverage. And then from the center of the face, you're just going to want to drag that outwards. Now, this will all work if you want to use a beauty blender, absolutely. The only reason I use a brush is just because it's personally what I like to use when I'm doing a fast natural makeup. I also just find I have more control over where I put the product with the brush. Alright, so now that the foundation's on, you can kind of see there's still some areas here where there's, you know, a little bit of redness, a little bit of imperfections. For that, what I'm going to do is use my trusty Sealer by Makeup Forever. I do love this stuff, it's really nice. I'll put a little bit of that on my arm. And I will actually take that foundation brush and I will just kind of pat into it. And then what we're going to do is just kind of dab that over the areas that there is some redness. And I'm also going to take that right under the eye. By using a low coverage foundation but more coverage in your concealer, you're actually going to get that really natural finish, which is really kind of what we're looking for. You're definitely going to want to just spend a little bit of time blending that in, just because we have two different tones going on here. We have the light concealer and we have the dark foundation, so we just want to make sure that they are kind of married together and they look good on the skin together. And I'll just kind of go around and look for spots that need a little more help. And that's kind of like what I do for a natural foundation. As you can see, it looks a little light. This is because of my beauty lighting. But in real life, it is my skin color, I promise. Never believed any YouTubers when they used to say that, but it's true. So now what I'm going to do is go in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is a really awesome powder. I talk about it in every one of my videos. One of the reasons why I love doing a low coverage look or a natural look is because you don't have to use as much powder. So we're taking just a puffy brush like this. This brush is awesome because it just gets right under the eye. So what we're going to do is just quickly kind of dip into it a little bit, and then we're going to kind of just dust it off like this. And then we're going to lightly press that underneath the eyes, just very lightly. And I like to kind of drag that down into the cheeks, kind of like that. Now that the skin is set, we can actually move on to eyebrows. This is like the point where like everything's kind of like set, everything's matte. So now I like to focus on my eyebrows and then move down to the eyes.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god.
And then that's when I focus on my bronzer and stuff like that. So what I'm going to use today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in shade Tawny. This one's really cool because so it fell out of its pan. Cool. At least it didn't break. Really love this bronzer. It's really nice. It kind of has like a cool kind of like...
I'm kind of confused.
I'm going to start in the top corner here. I'm just going to work that across the forehead. I'm just going to kind of use whatever's on the brush. I'm not going to use anything else. I'm not going to dip in again. And we're really just going to work that into the skin.
You better stop!
That's kind of like what we're going for when we're going natural. We're just kind of going for a little glow on the skin. Nothing too like intense. This look, we're going to keep it pretty back. Then we're going to go down the cheeks with a little bit of lot products. And then when I'm doing more of a natural look, I actually like to take that bronzer a little bit lower on the skin. So I will kind of come across the cheek like this, and then I'll just kind of take it down like this. And then you can't forget the nose. It doesn't matter if you're doing natural or dramatic makeup, you cannot forget your nose. And instead of doing more of a contoured look, I kind of bring it across the nose like this. So it kind of looks like you stuck your nose in your boss's. If I see there's areas where I want a little bit more of a warmth to my skin, I will put a little bit more bronzer in those areas. And when you're doing a natural look, I don't want to see any of this. I don't want to see any lines. I don't want to see nothing. Like, this better be blended into my skin. Like, I better make it part of my skin at that point. Like, you know. Okay, so next I'm going to do blush. Bare Minerals Gen Nude Blush. If you had me at Merlot. This one's like a deeper reddish blush. I really, really, really like this blush because it just kind of gives you like those natural fleshy cheeks. It is a deeper blush if you are kind of scared of deeper blushes. Maybe not for you. There's ways of using it that are just so pretty. I just kind of stamp that on the skin, drag that up into my temple. And what I find really nice for a natural look is underutilizing the bronzer but overutilizing the blush, because blush just kind of gives the skin that really nice kind of tinted look. It gives it a really nice kind of fleshy look, which is a natural kind of approach to skin. Now we're gonna do eyebrows. I'm so annoying. Usually I like to draw on a really nice bold eyebrow, but when I do a natural look, I like to keep it just kind of like the way it is, but shaped a little bit better. A shade that I really like to use when I'm doing a natural brow, which by the way I will use eyeshadows, is the Anastasia Riviera. It is the shade Palm, shade down here. I find this one is like pretty nice if I want to do like a natural brow. I take a little bit on my angled brush here, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of start that eyebrow halfway through. I'm going to keep on with that straight kind of line. Pick up a little bit more product, and this is so I can define the tail of the brow. With the product that I have left, I'm going to kind of just take that and define the beginning of the brow. I'm going to flip my brush and I'm going to use that to just kind of blend out that product. So kind of like that. And then I'll just do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now that both eyebrows are on, what I want to do, oh my god, gotta have nice defined brows. I take concealer, my concealer brush, and we're gonna carve our eyebrows out. Bitch always needs to have a sharp eyebrow. So sometimes what I'll do, guys, is I'll just like throw on mascara and I'll leave like this. Maybe throw on a load of highlighter and go. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in with one eyeshadow. I use that same eyeshadow color that I use on my brows, and I'm just gonna kind of put that through the eye really quickly. Just a quick smoky eye, just enough to kind of bring my eyes out, and that's really it. So I've done the eyes. This is literally all I do. A little bit of shimmer on the lid. The shimmer I went with was Yacht from the Anastasia palette. So now what I'm going to do is go in with some mascara. This one's by Marc Jacobs. It is the Velvet Noir mascara. Alright guys, now that mascara is on, I'm going to continue by adding a little bit of shimmer to the cheek. So I'm going to take the Ultra HD Soft Light in shade 20 by Makeup Forever. This is just a liquid highlighter. Take this brush and I'm just going to kind of pat that in there and then put that on the cheek. I usually find it helps if you want to use this highlighter on the entire apple of the cheek. So just kind of smiling and then seeing where that round is. And then you could kind of go over it, so that when you're looking around and moving around, people will, like, your cheeks will just glow, which is really nice. It's really pretty. On the nose, on the forehead. Alright, and now what we're going to do, because there's no way in hell that you are glowing enough for this day. You have to be glowing more. So we're going to use the Fenty Killawatt highlighter. And we're gonna overkill this, because if there's one thing that I like to over apply, even when I'm not wearing glamorous makeup, is highlighter. So take that and just kind of pat that over the cheek. Today I'm gonna use the Make It Last by Milani, because this stuff is really good. As for lipstick, I actually don't like to wear lipstick on a natural day. This is kind of like what I do, guys, on like a natural day. So you can kind of see the skin's really nice and dewy, it's really glowy, my imperfections are gone, it doesn't feel heavy at all. It's got nice glow on her skin. The eyes are just kind of defined a little bit, not too much. The eyebrows are defined a little bit. So if you guys really like this video, I would really appreciate a subscription or a like or a comment, or you can hit that bell. Either way, guys, we really appreciate it. It really helps me on the road to kind of making this a full-time thing for me. But yeah, if you're done looking at my toilet, which, by the way, that's my toilet, YouTubers start off somewhere. In the meantime, guys, stay true, be you, to full.